Wow, I for one cannot believe how the refs fucked us over last week. There were quite a few bad calls. For anyone to say that legal block that our lineman had on the defender when Lynch ran it in, where about 2 plays later we still scored, is us whining about how the refs screwed us, has got to be blind. Or the fumble at the end of the game, how do you not at least give us the decency to go look at a replay? It doesn't matter that if we didn't recover the fumble, which we clearly did because Sherman was on top of the ball at the end, that you don't go under the hood at the end to determine who has possession. Even Mike Pereira they brought in, who's the top former official, who's like the most unbiased person when it comes to teams, said it should have been reviewed. So yes, I will gladly blame the refs when they so blatantly fuck us over. And to anyone out there who says I should pipe down and accept the loss, you need to go fuck yourself. Anyways, on to the Panther game. This is a big game for us. If we don't win, our postseason chances are pretty slim. At least winning the division. At least for winning the division. I think we'll still be good for getting at least a wild card berth if we can't find a way to beat them. But we need to make Superman more like Clark Kent. In the past 2 years, where we've had to play in Carolina both times, which is pretty unfair, third time in 3 years, we don't have a home game. What's up with that? We've pretty much done that. Turned him into Clark Kent. Last year it took Earl Thomas's flying headbutt in order to do that, but hopefully this will be dead in the water before it hits the fourth quarter. And when Carolina has lost, boy, have they lost this year. If last week's game offensively was any indicator, Wilson should have another great game. Last year he threw for 300 yards plus, so hopefully he'll do so again this week. First matchup, the defense against the Panther offense. Now our run defense should be able to hold the Panthers to a very low total, seeing how it's pretty much an even matchup. We average about 85, 86 yards per game given up, and the Panthers average about 89 yards per game gained, which means Newton will have to rely to throwing the ball. And even if he has to pass it off short, last week we only gave up 155 yards passing. But last week it was a fourth-string quarterback. So obviously there's going to be a little more passing yards that we give up. Hopefully nothing more than like 248 yards and a score. Second matchup, our offense, Panther defense. Now the Panther defense is about the same as the Rams defense was in passing and rushing yards given up. So I think it's safe to say that we can see the same amount of production out of the offense that we saw last week. Obviously, of course, with the W at the end of the game. Lynch, he'll have more yards than he did last week. Get him back to 100 yards rushing and a score or two. We do that, we're going to win. Wilson, like I said, is going to get over 300 yards passing. Not so many rushing yards this week. Also, he'll have 2 touchdown passes. And another thing, Sherman will have 2 interceptions. It's my bold prediction for the game. So in the end, Seahawks 24, Panthers 14.